welcome into another edition of Mavs Latest. I'm Josyah Howard. Before we get it started, please subscribe down below. Leave any comments you got for me as we're going on. It's Mavs Latest, all things Dallas Mavericks, with me, Josyah Howard. But let's start here because the schedule is out. We know when games will be played in the regular season for the Dallas Mavericks. And one note I would love to start with is the fact that the Mavericks will then start their season 13 of their first 18 games at home in American Airlines Center. But then those tides change in late November as they play 13 of the next 19 games on the road, ending on January 19th at Chicago. Couple notable games for the regular season. Cooper Flag's first game in Boston, the closest to his hometown in Maine, will be March 8th. Um, in the middle of a road trip that also hits Charlotte, Orlando, Toronto, and Atlanta. This will be a 6 consecutive road trip game sandwiched around the All-Star break. They will visit San Antonio, Phoenix, and LA. The Lakers in the 3 games before the All-Star break, which conveniently for the Mavericks, who might be involved, is in LA for pointing out that's probably related to Luca. They will come back around from that All Star break, facing the Timberwolves, Pacers, and the Nets. Good mix of teams here for the Mavericks. Some winnable games in the stretch there, but some competitive games as well. First road game won't be in the United States for the Mavericks. They will face the Pistons in Mexico City November 1st, and then visit the Houston Rockets with Kevin Durant on November 3rd. They will go coast to coast November 24th to visit Miami, visit the Miami Heat, and then head to LA to play the Lakers on the 28th of November and play the Clippers the next day on the 29th. The Mavericks will have 23 nationally televised games, 3 in a row at New York, at home against the Golden State Warriors and the Lakers in mid-January. Some key games, obviously, we talked about a little earlier. Opening night in Dallas against San Antonio on October 22nd. That is the 3rd consecutive season these teams will open up against each other. That is followed by home games against the Wizards and the Raptors before the Thunder and Pacers invade. In addition, the Christmas Day game will be against the Warriors at 4 p.m. On Martin Luther King Day, the Knicks will face the Mavericks at MSG, also at 4 p.m. And the NBA Cup games, the Mavericks will play the Lakers on November 29th, the day after Thanksgiving. They will also play the Grizzlies on the 7th of November, the Clippers on November 14th in Dallas, the Pelicans on the 21st of November as they wrap up that NBA Cup schedule. Um, just in the notable games and the opening night San Antonio, excuse me, opening night San Antonio, they'll be on ESPN. Uh, November 19th against New York, they'll be on ESPN. The Mexico City game, November 1st, they'll be on Peacock. The game against the Lakers, November 28th, will be on Prime. December 5th on OKC on Prime. So definitely keep a lookout for these schedules. It's going to be a lot of new faces with Peacock, NBC joining the crew, and Amazon Prime joining this loop. So definitely keep an eye out on what channels these games are on, because they'll probably be on somewhere, but you just gotta go out there and find them. So just some key games and dates and television stations for when the Mavericks are on this season. So the NBA schedules are out. If you want to take a deeper dive, just take a look. The Mavericks regular season schedule is officially out, but Bleacher Report is at it again, and it includes LeBron James and the Dallas Mavericks. Uh, Eric Pincus of Bleacher Report has proposed a 5-team trade, And that includes Giannis Antetokounmpo going to the Lakers and LeBron going to the Mavericks. So the full details of this proposal in this article: Dalton Connect, Dwight Powell, and Jaden Hardy go to the Nets. LeBron, Bronny, Andre Jackson Jr., Tyler Smith, and Drew Timmy go to the Dallas Mavericks. Giannis, Olivier Maxson Prosper, Tyrese Martin, and 2 trade exceptions to the Lakers. And the Bucks would get R.J. Barrett, P.J. Washington, Caleb Martin, Najee Marshall, a trade exception, a 26 first round swap, a second round pick from LA, a first round swap from LA. No, excuse me, 2 first round swaps from LA, a first round pick 2031 from LA. So seems like a lot of draft capital from LA. And the Raptors get Daniel Gafford and a trade exception. First of all, very complicated. You need a lot of teams to buy into this. I don't necessarily think a lot of teams would buy into this. Second of all, I don't see the Lakers giving up that much draft capital, even for a Giannis Antetokounmpo. He's 30. He's been injured here and there. I just don't know if they take that risk on Giannis to put all that draft capital. And they've already been really tight on their draft capital. And honestly, I just don't think the Mavericks would want to give up these rotation pieces to bring in LeBron James, and even bringing back some role players, I guess, in Jackson Jr., former UConn Husky, and Drew Timmy. I don't see it. I don't buy it. I know we're trying to push LeBron trade to the Mavericks right now, but it's just not happening right now. It's just not, and I just don't think it's gonna happen this season, if ever. But if it does happen, it's gonna be an off-season thing where he's a free agent and he comes to the Mavericks. So a fun trade if Giannis says he wants out and LeBron, which is a lot of factors. But if LeBron and Giannis want out, then cool. Then this might happen. But until then, wake me up when that happens. But I just don't think it's going to happen. But a fun trade proposal. That's why we're talking about it. But I just don't see it happening. But a funny little note. King of the Hill just made a comeback. The animated sitcom, and Hank Hill, the character, unsure if it was the producer or the actual voice actor. He hosted a Ask Me Anything on Reddit earlier in the week, and one of the redditors asked him what he thought of the excuse me, of the Luka trade. And he said, "Well, you're right. I really don't follow basketball as much as football, but I read all about the Luka Doncic trade, and to me, it seems like a textbook case of people in power completely disregarding what constitutes actually what their actual want is. If I was ever in charge of making a big decision that big, whether it's trading a franchise player after 7 years or say bring back one after 15, I'd like to think I wouldn't just do a brash and callous manner. Also, Bobby told me to fire Nico, but I'm not sure a man should lose his job over one mistake. I guess all I can really say is, God dang it, Nico." In his Hank Hill way. That is so fun to mix the pop culture into like what's going on right now. I love that. I hope it was the voice actor, if I'm being honest, that was involved with that Ask Me Anything on Reddit. But that was just cool to see. Good promotion for King of the Hill. Very funny, very witty. Um, but a couple fair points in there. But again, um, no point to really hash out the what we already know and feel about the Luka Doncic trade. Now it is kind of time to do stuff like this and poke fun at it, and hopefully Luka can get a good laugh at it. The Mavericks can get a good laugh at it, and they could move on to the next season, and Luka has his season. The Mavericks have their season. Bygones be bygones. They'll always be connected forever. We'll always talk about Luka Doncic and what he's up to. But this was hilarious. So welcome back, King of the Hill, with their Ask Me Anything on Reddit. But to wrap things up here on Mavs Latest with some Dallas Mavs chatter, The Mavericks and the Paul Quinn College have announced a partnership that establishes the nation's first NBA team sponsored sports management major at a historically black college or university. The initiative Mavs Sports Management Major officially launched Friday with an opening speaker featuring former CEO Sint Marshall as a keynote speaker. She's a former Mavericks CEO. The program, formerly titled Leadership, Innovation in Sports Management, Technology, Entrepreneurship, and Networking, the acronym LISTEN, represents a significant investment in diversifying the sports industry pipeline while addressing educational equality in higher education. The Paul Quinn College, Dallas's only HBCU, will integrate the new major into its existing curriculum structure, with students receiving comprehensive support that includes target sponsored care packages containing dorm essentials and other student necessities. So this is just really cool. I love when, you know, something like this where somebody is helping within the community to grow their community. And me being an African American male myself, just seeing the growth of HBCUs in any way is a positive. I didn't go to an HBCU, but just seeing the growth in any way possible is amazing. And just seeing the Dallas Mavericks be a part of that. Kudos to the franchise. Kudos to Paul Quinn College. And I am very just excited to see where that program goes. So shout out to all that, and here on Mavs Latest, I like to shout out the good news as much as the bad news, and I wanted to shine some light on that one. So this has been another Mavs Latest. I'm Josyah Howard. Again, please subscribe down below. Leave any comments you got for me down below, and let's get it, y'all.